Good afternoon, everyone. This is North Shore Preparedness coming to you from the beautiful and safe shores of Lake Ontario. Today is still Sunday, September the 20th, 2020, and it's a gorgeous day here on the North Shore of Lake Ontario. I did a video a little bit earlier showing you guys the difference between sizes of canning jars, and while I was on that sort of train of thought, I wanted to bring you another video about pressure canning and you know, the safety of it. I've talked to a lot of people just in the comments and just friends in general about pressure canning, and it seems that a lot of people have a lot of fears regarding pressure canning. You know, we've all heard the stories about you know, grandma blew up the pressure canner in the kitchen and the house burnt down and things like that. So I understand people's fears about that. Now, this video is hopefully to dispel some of those fears and you know, some safety tips and things like that. Just to take you for a walk around the canner and show you what it's all about to try and dispel those fears. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get right into this. I'm just going to flip this around here, flip this viewfinder around so I can see what I'm doing for you guys, okay? Okay, so this pressure canner here, this is a pressure canner and cooker by a company called Presto. And when I purchased it, it came with the pot, it came with the lid, it came with this tray, it came with this weight, and it came with this instruction manual. It's the Presto pressure canner and cooker, and this is the 28 quart model. Now, some of them are not quite as big as this. Some of them are sort of half the size. They come in many different sizes, but they will all come with this instruction manual. Read this thoroughly, front to back, for all your safety tips and things like that. And as you can see, it's instructions, and it also comes with recipes inside of here, and there's some great recipes in here. So make sure you read the manual thoroughly for your safety precautions. Okay, now let's talk about the pot itself first and foremost. Now I'm gonna swing this around a little bit, just my viewfinder, so I'm gonna zoom in on something here just so that you guys can see it, and hopefully it'll focus. We'll just give it a second to focus here. See if that's gonna work. All right. Yeah, you can see that right there. So built into this pot are, you know, there's some safety features, okay? First I'm going to show you is there's lines built into this pot here, different lines. If you can see those, there's a line there, there's a line there, and there's a line also way down here inside the bottom of the pot. Now these are different levels for measuring your liquid levels, either for canning or cooking. All the information is in the booklet, so please make sure you read that and learn what those things are for, okay? For safety and you know, efficiency in your canning. Okay, so that's some of the guidelines. Those lines here, measurement lines there, and down here in the pot. Also in the pot, what has been built in are these little ridges, these little lips. Now that's what your lid locks down onto, okay? And this right here, this little doodad right here, built into the side of the pot, this is also a safety feature, okay? Also on this pot, on this handle right here, you'll notice an arrow, okay? Now that's going to be your arrow to line up your lid with. There will be another arrow on the lid, okay? All right, so speaking of the lid, let's talk about it for a little bit here too, okay? Now, when I purchased this, it did come with this pressure valve, which I had to install, which was no big deal. It just, you know, it has one nut under here, and you just had to fasten that on and give it a little crank, a small crank with a wrench. Now, let's talk about the safety features built into the lid. Okay, all right. Now, your lid will come with a rubber gasket. Some people say to oil it for sake of ease of removing it. Some say don't oil it. Personally, I don't oil it. But do your own research and find out what works for you guys, okay? You'll also see these grooves here, and here, and here, built into the pressure canner. This is how it locks down, okay? So what you do is you have your arrow here, and I'm not sure if you can see it right here, but there's an arrow right here on the top of your canner lid. You line those arrows up, and your lid will rest down onto your pot, and then you simply just squeeze it together, line up your handles, and your pot is sealed, okay? It's locked down from all those grooves that we showed you, okay? All right, now let's talk. So that's one of the safety features, is these grooves here on the pot itself and these grooves here on the lid. It locks down that way. And then we also talked about this rubber ring. Now before every time you use it, you want to inspect this rubber ring to make sure it's in good condition before you use your pressure canner. Okay, so let's talk about the safety features, the other safety features that are built into this lid to try and dispel some people's fears, okay? All right, now the first one we're going to talk about is this plug right here. This, it's a black rubber plug that's built into the pot. And you can replace it from time to time if you need to. But if there is, this is a safety feature that if there is a massive amount of pressure in your pot that is unsafe or unnatural, this rubber plug will blow out and prevent the pot from exploding, okay? Also, this right here, this vent hole, you know, when you use your pressure canner, you're going to want to bring your pot up to temperature, and you're going to want to vent steam out of here for 10 minutes to let your canner come up to temperature properly, okay? Once it has done that for 10 minutes, once it's steamed out of here for 10 minutes, you take your weight and you place your weight on it, okay? Now, before you use your canner, you have to inspect the lid and hold this up to the light and put your eyeball, the light behind here, and your eyeball on there, and make sure you can see through there so that you can vent properly. Now, another safety feature, yet again, built into this pot is this pressure valve right here. Now, once it starts to come up to pressure, after it starts to vent here, you'll see this pop up. And what that does, we saw this little doodad here built onto the side of the pot. Once you install your lid, this little pressure doodad here will sit right under here, and you can see on the bottom of it there's a lip here, right? So when it comes up to I'm not sure if you can see that, yeah, there's a lip on the bottom of it right here. So once your canner begins to come up to pressure, that pops up and locks down on this little doodad right here. So it's yet another measure that the top can't get blown off. Now, this guy here won't come down and release the lid so that it can be able to be taken off until the canner has come down in pressure once you've turned it off. So this will actually prevent people from taking the lid off early and while there's still pressure in there, and injuring themselves with a steam type injury. Now, what we also have on this lid for a safety measure and for regulating cooking and canning is we have our pressure valve, okay? Now, you're going to have to do your own research. It varies between elevations. Find out what elevation you're at to find out which number of pounds you need to can your goods at. For me, I can at 11 pounds. At sea level, it's like 10 pounds. And if you're in the mountains, you might want to go to 15 pounds. And you regulate this pressure by the temperature of your stove, okay? So those are all the safety features built into here. I can understand old time canners where it was just a lid without this safety device and without this blowout valve and without this pressure valve, and all it had was this vent hole. And you have your weight. Some of them are 5 pound weights, 10 pound weights, 15 pound weights. I can understand people's concern with safety and being afraid of an explosion, but there's so many features built into these modern pressure canners that it's virtually impossible to have one explode on you. Now, being that this is a larger canner, you know, like I said, it did come with this tray here. So what you do is you put this tray down into the bottom. You put your water level in there to the prescribed amount. Also add vinegar to keep your jars from clearing. Now, because this is a larger canner, once you got your jars in, what you can do is you can get another one of these trays. You can set it down on the tops of those jars, and you can put another layer of jars on the top of this. Just to maximize the number of things, the number of jars that you can process at one time. Instead of just processing 7 or 8 in the bottom, you can stack 2 layers on here safely and maximize on you know what you can in one run of the canner. Okay, so that's pretty much it, guys. That's a walk around the pressure canner. Hopefully, and you know, showing you guys all the safety precautions built into this pot. And hopefully that dispels a lot of people's fears about pressure canning, because it's really not that scary, but you do want to follow the guidelines. You know, you want to respect your canner. Don't be afraid of it. Like when I'm running my canner, I'm not hovering over the top of it around the stove. You know, I'm going about my business, and I'm coming and I'm checking it regularly. You know, when it needs to be checked, and you know, different timing for canning different things and such like that. So that's what I've got for you guys today. A walk around the pressure canner, just to dispel hopefully some people's fears about pressure canning, and I hope this helps a lot of people. And you know, don't be afraid of it. Get yourself a pressure canner. You can get them on Amazon. My buddy Dan and his wife got theirs on Amazon this year. So go get yourself a pressure canner. Read the rules and regulations and recipes, and follow the guidelines, and you'll be just fine. Okay. So happy canning, everyone. Hope everyone has an enjoyable rest of their Sunday. And this is going to be North Shore Preparedness. Out for now.